On YouTube, it is that black dude, and I'm bringing you another low quality video because I don't got a place yet to do a proper video, and there's people in the house, so I'm doing it from my car so I can do this video freely without interruption. But that don't matter because I am breaking you the news, and this news is not breaking. It's getting pretty old. It's been dragged through the mud, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay this out to you, and I'm going to go ahead and reluctantly speak about this George Floyd incident here. So everybody knows about Floyd already, and everything has come out. George Floyd and Derek Chauvin. Derek Chauvin, of course, was the officer who kneeled on the neck of Chauvin for 7 minutes, almost 8 minutes, until Chauvin was dead. The footage showed Floyd being pulled out of his vehicle, cuffed, escorted to the side of a building, sat down, picked back up, escorted across the street to the police vehicles, where presumably he was put inside. Another video showed him being forcibly pulled out of that vehicle after several minutes went by. Then the video stops again until the teen walks by and catches the video with him already on the ground with 3 officers on him, one holding his leg, one on his midsection, and Derek Chauvin kneeling on his neck. Derek Chauvin, of course, illegally kneeling on his neck, was the one who was charged with murder, of course, which he should have been charged. There was no excuse for him to be on his neck like that. And this is what you see on all of the tapes. So where do we go from here? Of course. Now, these lights have been on for like 15 minutes that I've been out here, like sitting, waiting on some of the folks to leave. Anyway, like I said, so where do we go from here? From here, suddenly, we had a huge uproar because of course, this type of news spread like wildfire. Everybody was upset. Everybody's pissed off. We see this police brutality. This random cop kills this random black guy for apparently no reason. And Black Lives Matter, of course, gets involved in it. People are rioting. They're tearing up everything. And things are haywire. Then more details come out, which is what got me. Details like these two happen to work at the same nightclub together. So the plot thickens. These two men worked at the same nightclub together. And it is my understanding that one worked the front of the building, one worked the back. Now, the owner said that George Floyd had worked there majority of the 17 years that she had owned the operation. She didn't say how long that Chauvin, the other cop, had worked there. But if these two worked the same building, you'd be a fool to believe that these two had never met each other. Even if they didn't really hardly talk to each other, I'm sure they ran into each other a time or two. So this leads me to believe that these two had a personal beef going on. Now, this is what gets me. This murder seems like it was a purposely done murder. This to me does not seem like the random cop just randomly pulls this N-word out of a vehicle just to kill him. This to me don't seem like, I think I'ma just wake up and kill me a black man. This seems straight up personal. Like these two had a personal beef going on, and he just found an opportunity like, oh, I get to kill this N-word today. I think that's what's going on with it. And for me, I think that's one of the reasons why, and like I said, I think that's one of the reasons why we shouldn't be behind this particular case. because I don't believe this is just your random police brutality situation. This is, to me, I don't believe so. I don't believe this is just a regular, unarmed black guy who was just killed by some random racist officer. I believe this was personal. And I'm not saying that it wasn't bad, because it was bad. But I think it was personal. Also, with the whole Black Lives Matter involvement, I think a lot of people really need to start doing their research on who's funding Black Lives Matter, aka George Soros, and see all the terroristic crap that he's been involved with. And, you know, once you figure out that a lot of those protesters, and I'm going to do the air quotes, protesters who were put on buses and brought and bussed from town to throw rocks and stuff at people and officers. And not only that, some of these news stations, they were reporting that they were finding pallets along the pathways. Like, it's one thing to go out and protest and be like, we shall overcome. Hey, look, there's a stack of pallets over there with bricks on them. Wait a minute. What are those doing over there? We don't know. They're just there. And you start throwing them at the cops. It lets you know something's kind of organized. And people have come out and said, oh, yeah, we're paid to do this. Yeah, we rode on that big old bus over there that brought us in the protest. And they're paying us money. A lot of that's not real. Now, I'm not saying that police brutality is not a real deal. It does exist and it needs to stop. And the only way it's going to stop is not us people out there tearing up people's businesses and destroying the city, because that was that one retired police chief. He got shot and killed. You can hear the guy in the video of it, like, man, that's somebody's grandpa. He out here dying over some TVs, man, over some TVs. Oh, and he's a black dude. The other lady, black lady, part business owner of a place, they came and looted her place up. When these people are killed, wrongfully killed, and y'all go out there, you guys are tarnishing their name by doing stuff like that. Are you really representing George Floyd and these other victims by stealing that 52-inch TV out of somebody's business that they own? You're not. Not at all. Now, although this was a tragedy, and I still think it was a personal beef, there was one group of cops, and I can't remember what city it was. They told the protesters that they can protest and they can march, and they said they'll march with them. But they said they're not going to loot. We'll march with you, we'll support you, we'll do it together, but no looting, no rioting. Let's do it together, and they did it. And there weren't that many incidents there. I thought that was great. And that's the way it should be. Make your voices be heard, but don't be tearing up the city, because nothing's going to get done like that. If you want the laws and stuff to change in your local community, the only way that's going to happen is if you vote in your local elections. You got to learn about the people who are in office, what they stand for, and what they control. You need to learn who to vote in, learn who to vote out. And that's the only way things are going to change. And that includes me too. Like down here in Houston, that was that Proposition A, Proposition B thing with the firefighters. They were voting on that stuff there. We need to learn what's going on in the community. There was a big uproar about that. And in politics, I mean, it's in everything. They were talking about how if we gave the firefighters raises, it was gonna jack the taxes way up. And come to find out, it wouldn't. They were just gonna take it out the Houston General Fund. Wouldn't have raised taxes, would have gave the firefighters and stuff raises. We voted to go ahead and give them raises. And the mayor played politics and tried to reverse the vote after we overwhelmingly voted for it. So, politics are in everything. You go in, you vote. You don't go in and tear shit up and then sit home. You don't go in and tear shit up anyway because that's making you guys look bad and it's tarnishing the memory of those who died wrongfully. And so, also another thing that I would urge you guys to do is just wait on the whole story to come out before you start getting pissed off. And because a lot of the stuff that we get mad about, and then you go out there ride and loot and stuff like that. A lot of the stuff didn't happen. I hate to bring up hands up, don't shoot, and Trayvon Martin. There are witnesses in the Martin case that weren't even able to talk. People who said, they were on the radio. There were two children, one black girl and an older white kid who saw what happened. They saw Martin chase that Zimmerman, the butthole Zimmerman, around the truck and beat the shit out of him. That was on the radio. They didn't even get to testify. There were people who saw Hands Up, Don't Shoot, Michael Brown beat the shit out that officer and reach for his gun, try to kill the officer. And then after that part was over with and they were fighting on the sidewalk, there were witnesses who saw that too. And they saw the officer shoot him. But the news, you got to figure out when the news is lying to you. The news on this one here, man, they saw this here and man, they loved it. They loved to spread this here around. Now the George Floyd case here, they're not telling you guys. They're not revealing every single thing to it. Again, no excuse at all for this son of a bitch here to do what he did. But they're not revealing that, hey, these guys knew each other. That's not being revealed. The people that are being hurt in these riots by the so-called protesters, they're not getting any light. There was a white chick. A black protester just ran up, killed her sister. The sister ain't have shit to do with George Floyd. Not at all. Nothing. Just people out there fucking each other up. Or fucking other people up. Nothing to do with George Floyd. And it's just people going from town to town and doing shit they ain't got no business doing. Now, the media is going to take full advantage of that. Like they take full advantage of the other situations. You got to calm down, listen to both sides of the story. This here particular story was a horrible story. This particular one, no excuse for the cop. You can't make one. Now, what I will go out and say is this here, as far as the media goes. First off, if you're going to do this here story right, you need to let the people know these motherfuckers possibly knew each other. Okay? Second of all, reveal the reports of both autopsies and the possibilities of how he could have passed away on either case. Third of all, don't encourage the looting and all that bullshit. Fourth of all, don't add fuel to the fire talking about this man's past. Because that's just adding fuel to the fire. Because, again, here we are as a group, and not me included, we're pissed off at the police. And in general, they're doing this whole racist shit because they want some division in the country, of course. The media loves division. They love us dividing. United we stand that's one thing. Divided we fall. They love the division. So go ahead and point this guy's criminal record out. Well, he was a thug. You shouldn't get behind this thug. He had a criminal record. I read that somewhere online. I'm like, why are they pointing this guy's criminal record out? It is like they're trying to give the cop an excuse. Well, he was a thug. You shouldn't get behind him. Okay, so, because he had a criminal past, that gives the cop a right. And what really pissed me off was the site that I saw it on. And this was a very popular host that I listened to. Now he's not in control of his page. You have to understand these different hosts have people that run their pages and shit like that there. So I'm pretty sure whoever is helping to run his page is gonna get let go of pretty damn soon. But at the same time, you don't point out the guy's goddamn criminal record. Especially when he is a legit victim. The guy was freaking handcuffed, not resisting, unconscious, guy still on his neck, and killed on film for the world to see. This ain't hands up, don't shoot, where the guy was reaching for the gun, and then you end up finding videos of the guy beating up somebody a couple of years ago, and then you reveal his criminal record. See, this is the kind of path he was already on. Nope. Floyd, even though he passed out that fake $10 bill and was all fucked up on drugs and shit, dude was handcuffed. The dude that was selling the cigarettes out in Sterling, old boy died of a heart attack on the way to the hospital. Cops was called on him. Kind of a different story. Every situation is different. That's another one where they see folks don't even realize that. Folks still be pissed off about that shit there. They think he got choked out on the ground like George Floyd. Guy died of complications on the way to the hospital. That was another dude in the ambulance. Banged his head up on the wall and died of injuries later. He was known for doing that. They thought they killed him in the back of the ambulance. People still pissed off about the woman who was found, Sandra Bland, was found hung in the jail cell. And the news media, like I said, they're going to spin those stories one-sided. They already want the race war. Guys, you got to, and I know I'm rambling. I'm finna go ahead and end this. You gotta listen to both sides of the story. You gotta use your head. You gotta figure out who's running this media, what they want. They want a race war. Calm your asses down, listen to both sides of the story, and just be smart. It's tragic what happened to George Floyd, but I don't think we need to be out there like this guy was the cleanest, most nicest saint in the world. I do believe, again, that this was personal beef, being that they worked at the same place. I do believe there needs to be justice for George Floyd, but I don't believe we need to be out there marching and protesting for him. If we want to go out there and change anything, let's get our asses up, vote in these local elections all around the United States, and make things change. Other than that, that's about really all I got to say about it. It's a tragedy. It should not have happened. And may this man rest in peace. Fuck his criminal record. Because, again, this guy should not have been killed like he was. He was killed like an animal. And he was not. I hope the family gets... I hope the family sues the police department for every penny that they can possibly get, and that his family, his kids, all them live very well. As the old folks say, I hope they sue the city so well that they be farting in silk. Anyways, I'm about to get my ass in this house. I'm about to see, it looked like my daughters didn't message me. But I'm about to get ready to stop this tape. About to put my stuff in the house. About to go try some of this good ass banana nut bread that the lady done changed up. And yeah, I guess that's about it. Oh, by the way, Derek Chauvin's, his wife divorced his punk ass. He deserved every bit of it. Hopefully she dated a black dude with a big old giant penis. Because she deserves it. I mean, that piece of crap. And here's another thing. This is why you vote in your local elections. I don't want to go over 20 minutes, but this is why you vote in your local elections. Derek Chauvin, his ass done had all kind of police brutality crap. All on his record. He only got punished one time. He was like a 19-year veteran. Had like 10, 15 cases. He had a bunch of cases, got punished one time. This is why you vote these people out who allow this crap to happen. Anyways, guys, Peace out. Love you.